This conference will now be recorded.
Are you people able to hear me? If anyone can answer?
Yes.
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 Okay, great, thanks. So we'll wait for a couple of more minutes and then we'll start with the demo session. Like, we'll explain you what the agenda is for today, what you will learn from, this course, what is prerequisite to, for this particular course, and what you will learn at the end of this course. So we'll wait for a couple of more minutes and then we'll start it. Okay, so we are already 3 minutes past the time. We'll start with let the people join, and meanwhile we can start it. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. My name is Praveen, and I'm very excited to be, to be your guide for this session and going forward for the Playwright and JavaScript session. The agenda for today, basically, I'm not sharing anything. I'll start sharing in a couple of minutes. So, agenda for today, this demo is to provide you uh, a basic things like what is the prerequisite for this particular course, who can attend the course, and some kind of introduction about I myself, and then the Playwright. Like what is the unique feature of the Playwright, and the course content that we will be going through in the for the Playwright course, Playwright using JavaScript. And if time permits, I'll also try to set up
First, Praveen
live.
sir, once check it's recorded or not. Session is. Hello?
Recording is in progress. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Right. Right. Thanks. So, and then we'll go through with the content, like, the course contents, what we are going to learn from this particular Playwright and JavaScript sessions or courses. And if time permits, I'll also try to set up Playwright in the system, and we'll try to do a basic validations using the Playwright. So this is what the agenda we have for today. First of all, welcome everyone for the today's session. I'll start with some of the introduction about I myself. So I have over 11 years of experience in software test industries. I have worked on various testing frameworks, tools, and technologies, which includes, and few of them are Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, APM, Rest Assured, and so on. With the Playwright, I started around 3.5 years ago when I was basically working on a Selenium and Java, and then we had a lot of test case to automate. We were facing some kind of issues where it was taking a lot, like, much longer time than it has to. And also the requirement was for like uh, different kind of browsers, different platforms, and so on. So there I actually came to know a tool called Playwright, which basically solves my problem. It was like stood out to me because of its robust features, cross-browser supports, and seamless, like very easy to integrate with any of the testing processes that we were following. So, since then I started using Playwright, and I've like automated lots of test cases, developed a framework, and so on. In addition to that, uh, I also have had a privilege of teaching and mentoring the peoples across the globe, and also did some kind of corporate training. So this is like, what about I myself, and I'll start with some kind of basics of like what Playwright is. Why do we use Playwright? What is the unique feature that we have in Playwright? And then we'll go through with it. So, basically, Playwright is one of a automation tool in the market, which is like a hot in the market. Like most of the organization are going to use like Playwright. And if you see in the future, like 2025 or first half of 2025, like most of the organization will move towards Playwright. It's just because the unique feature that it has. Let me share my screen, and then we'll probably go through with like few of the features that we have in that we have in the Playwright, and then we can move ahead with this. Let me know once you see my screen. Are you people able to see my screen?
Yes.
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 Yes, we can
Right.
see.
So, right, great, thanks. Right. So first question coming to our mind is like, why Playwright? Why not other tool? Right. So whenever you people have thought of joining Playwright, so you could have thought of like, why Playwright? Why not other tools? There are a lot of tools available in the market, which is like Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, and then there are a lot of other things, Catalan, and so on. So why Playwright? So the basic difference that we see in the Playwright is Playwright and Selenium is almost equal, because the Selenium also support like most of the popular language. When I say language, it is like technology, which is Java, JavaScript, Python, .NET, and so on. And Playwright also supports the similar kind of things, where you can utilize like any sort of language like Java, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, and so on. Then what is the difference between Selenium and Playwright? Now the very important difference is here. Playwright is one of a tool which is basically used for end-to-end testing. When we select end-to-end testing for the modern web application, that means you you will have to write a very basic set of coding. You just have to write a very minimal kind of coding using any either you use Java, JavaScript, or or TypeScript. You only have to use like very minimal code, and then it will automatically pick lot of other kind of things. So when I say like lot of, am I not audible properly?
You're audible, sir.
It's
Right.
audible.
Great. Great. Thanks. So there are a couple of differences that we see here. Is like, Selenium also works on most of the browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Safari, and Playwright also work on that. So what is the difference? The difference between, if you see the second points here, right? Second point says that um, it works on major browser. Selenium also works on major browser, but what is the difference? So the difference is like, whenever you go to use any browser in the Selenium, you will have to first take the driver into picture. Like you have to download the driver, or you have to use third-party library, which is like a web driver manager, and then you will be able to automate with those particular driver browsers. But Playwright automatically takes care of the things. You don't have to install anything. Either you are using Windows or you are using MacBook, you don't have to install any kind of things. Playwright will automatically take care of whatever the browser you want to support it, you want to automate for. Now it also works on various platform, which is like, as I said, Windows, Mac, Linux, and it also supports the web or the browser of the native mobile. So when I select browser of the native mobile, that means whatever the browser you are using in your uh, phone, it will be like the similar code will be able to automate in your phone as well, either it be Android or it be iOS. So that is one of a unique feature that Playwright has given, where you can run the similar code in Android and mobile iOS, like Android or iOS browser. As I earlier talked about, it supports like most of the popular language, which is like JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, C Sharp, and so on. The unique and the major difference that we see in the Playwright is Playwright have a feature called traces. This trace is one of a feature that Playwright has given, where you can that particular things you can use to debug your code, debug the test case you have run into. It will automatically generate all the logs that the that your test case have run it, and the automation have ran properly or not, whatever the errors were there. It will automatically take the screenshot. It will also automatically take the videos, and a very feature of retrying. So if you have to take the screenshot in Selenium, you have to utilize some other like third party tools, which is like commons.io. To take the video of the like video recording of your test run, you have to write a lot of code, at least 25 lines of codes using Java and then Selenium to take the recordings of the video, but Play automatically takes care of those things. Whenever you have to retry for let's say if so and so test case have been failed, and you have to again retry for that, also you'll have to write few lines of code in Java, and then the Selenium. Automatic Playwright just takes one line of code, that too in the configuration file, and it will automatically run uh, retry kind of. And then, as I said, like the login mechanism, you don't have to do any kind of things. It will automatically take care. Like Playwright will automatically take care of all the logging parts as well. Now there are a couple of other tools that Playwright has given, which is like one is called Inspector tool, and other is called CodeGen. So Inspector tool uh, is one of a tool that Playwright has given to run your code in the UI, in one of a UI platform. I'll show you that as well, like going forward in the course. Like whatever I'm talking, everything will be covered in the courses. I'm just trying to give you the unique feature that the Playwright has. So the inspector tool and the CodeGen tool are two of a unique things that Playwright has given, where uh, you can directly go in inspector tool and then run your test case from there, and then you can see like what happened before executing the steps and what happened after executing the steps. CodeGen is one of a tool that again Playwright has given. It is again a feature of the Playwright, which is used to generate automatically, the auto generation of the code that we see in the Selenium IDE. It is similar kind of things where you can generate automatically code by navigating into your application. So this is again a unique feature that Selenium does not have. And the most important things in the Playwright is, it has a wait, like automatically waiting concept. In Selenium, we have like implicit wait and explicit wait that we have to define in the code, whereas Playwright automatically takes care of your waiting concept. So you don't have to do any kind of things to identify elements, identify locators by clicking, sending keys, and so on. For those particular things, the waiting concept will automatically be taken care by the Playwright. And then again, one of our advantage of the Playwright is like it has a built-in API testing libraries. So when we say like built-in API testing libraries, it will also be able to automate your API test cases, like API request, all the requests that we are basically trying to use using the Postman or using the REST assured API will be taken care by the Playwright as well. So this is one of again advantage of using Playwright. And then Playwright is designed is based on the Node.js. So when I say like Node.js, what is like Node.js? So Node.js is basically a open source tool. It is one of a engine to run the JavaScript code. So we have like JRE, Java Runtime uh, environment, which used to run the Java code. So in the similar way, Node.js is used to run the JavaScript code and the TypeScript code. This is very few of the unique feature that we have in terms of the Playwright, or like what stand out, like why Playwright stand out from Selenium, and why the organization and the people are moving towards Playwright. So these are few of the advantages of using Playwright that we have currently for Playwright too. Now, for this course, what should be the prerequisite? Like who can take or the enroll in this particular course? So one thing that I can say is that anyone who is having some kind of basic knowledge of the computer, when I select computer, that is, I'm not talking about any technology or any language. I'm just talking about the computer
Your
navigation and
voice
all.
is breaking.
Either it be a technical person, non-technical person. Okay. Is it audible now?
Yes. Yes, now
Yeah,
audible.
better.
Hello. Okay. Okay. Right. So, okay. I'll check why it is going low. So these are few of the feature of the Playwright. And then when we talk about what is what is the prerequisite for this particular course to join. So there is like this course is done in such a way that a freshers, a working professional who is already working, a person who is working on the manual testing, a person who is working on any other automation testing, those people can enroll here. And also it is designed in such a way that like it will be covered for both, like uh, technical person and the non-technical person. When I say like technical and non-technical, is like a person who have completed BTech and a person who have completed BSc, BA, BCom. Those people will also be able to enroll in this, and they'll be able to learn everything from scratch. When I say like everything from scratch, like Playwright completely from scratch and JavaScript completely from scratch. Right, I have stopped sharing right now. So uh, that is the prerequisite. And I'll also share the course content. I'll just try to share here. Let me just share the course content that we have, and we'll go through one by one. So this, like today's demo session, is not to give you everything in detail, but just to cover like what kind of things will be covered in going forward for the Playwright course content. Also, I'll request you people, like whoever have joined, this demo session, can share your contact number plus like WhatsApp number plus the name, so that we'll be able to share you the complete content, as well as the few of the documents that will be helpful for you in terms of going through with the Playwright. So probably you should be able to see the chat uh, window here. There you can try to send it out your WhatsApp number plus your name, so that we should be able to say share some of the important documents, including the contact. Right. I hope you people are able to see my screen now. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So this is the course content that we have developed, and this will be basically for everyone. When I say like this will also, as I talked earlier, like this course is designed it in such a way that like even a freshers, working professionals, technical and non-technical person will be able to understand it in a proper way, and they will go through with this in a better way. So 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 this course will start with not directly Playwright, but start with the JavaScript from scratch. It will cover like all the detailed, like basic things of the JavaScript, which is like data types, variables, statements. When I say like statements, it's like similar things in if else, whatever we see in the Java, Python, and other things. How do we create functions? How do we create objects, arrays? There are special function in JavaScript called arrow functions and asynchronous. The most important things is asynchronous, which is like async and await. So what is asynchronous is like, JavaScript is an asynchronous language. You might have heard people saying JavaScript is an asynchronous language. So what is meant by that? Asynchronous is like it will not give you the guarantee that all the tests will be executed one by one. That means step by step. JavaScript can start executing your code from any of the line. Like let's say if you have written 100 lines of code, it can start executing from 78th line, 58th line, and so on. But I see some of the background noise. Can you please go on? Can you please go on mute? Thanks. So JavaScript, does not guarantee you that it will start the execution of the code from the line 1 and line 2 and so on, whatever we see in the Java and other language. That is where it is called as asynchronous. That means it does not guarantee you the synchronization. We'll go through with it in detail in completely when we start JavaScript, and so on. This is like very easy. JavaScript is like, in terms of automation I'm talking about, it is very easy to learn. Anyways, like JavaScript is very vast in terms of development, but in terms of testing, it is like very easy to learn, very easy to understand. Once we complete JavaScript, then we'll move to the Playwright section, where we'll have like introduction, what the features and all that I've already gone through, but we'll go one by one again in detail whenever we start Playwright. We'll also go for like installation of some of the environments that we require to run the Playwright. And then we move to like some of the core concept of the Playwright. So like creating projects, installing Playwright dependencies, Playwright, some of the annotations, async, await, as I talked about, like asynchronous concept in Java. How do we create browser? How do we create like browser context, page context, and so on? Like you'll not come to know like what is browser context and page context. If someone is already working on, they might be knowing. But it is similar to launch your browser and launch your browser and launch your URL. Means like browser context and page picture and so on. Then we'll go to write a basic Playwright test. As soon as we complete this, after that, like you'll have also a chance to do all the practical things on a website, on a dummy website that we have. Do a lot of practice over there, and then we'll move to the advanced level of the Playwright, where we'll go for checking like what are the locators that we support in Playwright. Like as we have Selenium, in Selenium there are 8 types of locators. What are the different types of locator that Playwright and JavaScript supports? Different methods that we have in Playwright. We have close to around 40 methods that we have in Playwright. We'll go one by one in detail. Then, as I said, like the wait mechanism in Playwright, it is like automatically taken care, but we can also define our custom logic to wait for, but it automatically takes care of all the waiting concept in Playwright. Then we'll move to some of the advanced concept like drop down, handling of drop down, child windows. Then we'll go to check like inspector, code gen, and then traces that we talked about, like that I've talked about earlier in our session today. Then we'll move to some of again other handling of the elements like dynamic elements, auto suggestion drop down. When I say like auto suggestion drop down, it's something like whenever you go to search something in the Google, there will be a lot of suggestion will come up here. So how to handle those kind of things? What are the different types of assertions that we have in Playwright? And then again, like writing end to end automation script in Playwright. Then we have then we'll move to some of the locators, like unique locators that Playwright has given, which is called like get by locate, get by label, get by text, attributes, and so on. So when I say like attributes, whenever you go to automate or write any kind of locators, you'll have, let's say, username will have different types of attributes. So by using like get by attributes, you can properly write like locators and find it out, and you can probably use that in your automation. Then we'll go through like Playwright UI runner, as I talked about. Like whenever you run in the Playwright UI runner, you will be able to see like what happens before the step and after the execution of the steps. So all those things you will come to know. It will also display the complete screenshot and videos of each and every steps. We have a unique feature here called as hidden element validation. But Selenium will basically throw you an exception over here that the element is hidden. But Playwright and Cypress also have this kind of facilities where it will automatically able to suggest like there are some of the elements which is hidden. Then we'll move to pop-up handling, frames handling, and few of the other handlings in Playwright. And once we complete like basic UI validation, we'll move to the Playwright unique feature of API validation, where we can fire some kind of request like API request, validate some of the response. We can also do some kind of security testing using API. I'll also give you the demo for that, not today, but in the sessions whenever we start. We can also use web and API as mix. So when I say like web and API as mix, it is something like, let's say you have 100 test cases. All the 100 test cases are independent. In that situation, what you have to do is like you'll have to log in 100 times. By using web and API mix, like web and API automation in one of a repository, what you can do is you can get a token of the login that will not expire for the next 15 minutes, and you should be able to run your automation test case by just login one time and then use the token for 99 other test cases. So this is again one of a good feature that the Playwright has given to save your time. Then we'll also see like how to inject this the token that we get from the login into the session storage and browser context, and different kind of API calls like aborting the network calls, intercepting some kind of network calls, changing the API request and response, like mocking kind of that we do whenever we do not have any kind of UI available for testing. So at that particular time, we go for mocking kind of those kind of things we can also do using Playwright. One of again unique that Playwright has given is a visual testing. So what is visual testing? Visual testing is a testing where you have to just visualize the UI and check everything is it properly maintained or not. Let's say the organization have developed some kind of UI today, and then again after a week they have changed some kind of thing in the UI. So how do we identify those kind of things? By using visual testing of Playwright, it will be able to automatically identify even if there are a single pixel difference are there in the UI. It will be able to identify by using the Playwright tool. Then we'll check like some kind of Excel utilities, upload downloads of the file. How do we handle those kind of things? And then we'll move to the framework generation, where we'll try to understand two kind of framework. One is like very basic and hot in the market, which is like page object model. And second, we'll go for Cucumber framework as well. Here, we'll not use any kind of like TestNG or JUnit. We'll basically use Mocha framework, as JavaScript support Mocha, but not TestNG or JUnit. And at the end, we'll go to develop some kind of reporting. We'll basically cover like HTML and Allure reporting, which is again a very unique. Plus, most of the organization is using HTML and Allure. We'll also go for setting up the CI/CD pipeline through Jenkins, and we'll integrate like the framework that we develop using the CI/CD pipeline. So these are the contents that will be covered in terms of Playwright courses. And all these things that we have gone through will be covered in the classes. I'll just pause over here for a few seconds. If anyone have any kind of questions, uh, please you can ask, or you can also ask at the end of the session.
Yeah, Praveen, I have a doubt here.
Yes,
Yeah, what is
yes, please.
the duration of Playwright?
Right. So the
Entire
complete
course
course,
duration.
right, right. The complete course will take 5 to 6 weeks of time. And
Mhm.
in that 5 to 6 weeks of times, we'll not only go through the theoretical part, we'll have a lot of practices. You people will also have to do some kind of practices. So considering those things, it will take like 5 to 6 weeks of complete time.
Okay. If I learn Playwright, so in market we have a calls.
Right. I'll come to that part in just like next couple of minutes.
Sure.
Praveen, I have a
So in,
question.
in
Yeah.
So do we need Visual Studio for running Playwright, or we can use the Maven dependency also, and in the Eclipse we can configure it?
Right. So it depends on. So let's say if you are going through with the Playwright and Java, you have to use Maven dependencies. But JavaScript does not support that. As I talked about earlier, we'll be using not the TestNG or JUnit.
Hmm.
So definitely we'll not be using the Maven over here.
So for this,
And
we'll be learning the Visual
for the
Studio version.
exactly,
Got it.
exactly. And also, 99% of the organization in terms of JavaScript and TypeScript, they are using Visual Studio Code itself because it is very easy to learn. As you'll go through the course, you'll come to know
Hmm.
how easy it is, like Visual Studio and so on. Everything will be covered in all the things, like
Okay, thank you.
starting from like installation, how to use that, how do you create projects, how do you write the test, and so on.
Praveen,
so
I
yeah,
have
hi.
Yes,
one
please.
question.
Yeah, I have one question.
Yes, please.
So, is there any you told something about the UI and API mix, right? Could you please emphasize on that?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So, see what happened is like, let's say you have 10 test cases, right? And all the 10 test cases are independent of each other. In that case, what you have to do is you have to log in 10 times to automate your test cases. Now, using the Playwright or the web and API mix, what we can do here is we can log in one time, fire the API, get the token, and that particular token you can use in all the other test cases that you are trying to run. So basically, you are skipping 9 times login using the token, and that you have used that and that particular token you will be getting using the API automation. So this is what I was trying to say about the web and API mix.
You mean to say like we need to have a script that covers API part first, then UI part
Right,
second, or vice
right,
versa?
right,
How it is? Yeah, okay,
right, right. So
okay,
what
okay.
you can do is you can write UI part of login first. That UI part of login, like after login into the application for the first time, API part will come into picture. You will just have to write 3 or 4 lines of code in terms of API that will get a token for you, and that token you can utilize in other UI part as well.
Okay, whether that API link or whatever the service link that is been going to be provided will be provided with the developer or the dynamic link that we get during the web execution. That's how it goes.
Right. So it will be provided by the developer, as well as you can also
Okay.
find in your application whenever you try to log in. So what you can do is like you fill your username, you fill your password, and whenever you click on either login button or submit button, there will be one API will be called. You can check that in the network tab by inspecting. Whenever you go to inspect and go to the network tab, you will see like what the API calls is happening
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
True,
that
true.
particular
Yeah,
API you
yeah,
can directly use.
yeah. Sure. As a part of our scripting of API, whatever. Okay.
Right,
Sure, sure.
right,
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
right.
Uh,
Yeah,
sir,
Praveen.
I've
So
got one question.
Yes, Priya.
I've got one question. Is it much more easier to use Typewrite than using JavaScript?
Sorry, I did not get you. Is it much easier to use?
TypeScript instead of JavaScript?
Okay, okay, okay. So both are similar. The only difference in the TypeScript is it is a type safe, whereas JavaScript will not have such kind of things. So example, whenever you have to define a variable in JavaScript, you can define either using let, var, and something. Whereas TypeScript, in the TypeScript, you have to define whether it is string or integer or any kind of things. Second difference is like whenever you write a TypeScript, automatically Node.js will convert that TypeScript into the JavaScript before the execution of your test, and then it will run your test cases. So ultimately, what is happening is even though you write your Java like your automation code in TypeScript, the TypeScript before the execution of your test automation, it will be converted into the JavaScript, like all the TypeScript code will be converted into JavaScript, and then it will automatically run. That you will not come, like that you will not see as it is happening in the Java, right? Whenever you write a Java code, it will be converted into dot class file, and then it will converted, then it will be used by the JVM. So similar things happen over here. Node.js convert your TypeScript into JavaScript, and then it will run. So if I talk about what is easier, like either JavaScript or TypeScript, I would say
Yeah.
JavaScript is much easier than the TypeScript. But again, like different have like both of them, like JavaScript and TypeScript have different kind of features that they support. But in terms of automation, if you talk about and the learning, JavaScript is much easier than TypeScript.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Praveen, I have a
Praveen,
doubt
can
Just
here. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
Praveen.
please.
Playwright, it will support the mobile device emulation also.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's
Playwright,
support.
It will support mobile device testing.
it supports, yes.
Sure, thank you. So
For
sometimes,
visual
so
testing, yeah, for visual testing, which tool you are going to cover with Playwright itself, or you are going to combine with Apply tool or some other tool?
No, it is again one of a part of the Playwright. Uh, so
Okay.
we'll be covering inside the Playwright itself. It is just a
Okay.
single part of the Playwright, which it has given as a unique feature. So, which in the visual part, like visual testing, how it works is like it will take the screenshot of your page, and then will again, at the time of running the test case, it will again take the screenshot and it will compare whether both of the
Right.
screenshot are matching or not with pixel and all. So we'll cover that inside the Playwright itself.
Okay. And one more question. So will you cover source lab connection also? How we connect Playwright with source lab? If I have to
See that,
execute,
but right.
yeah.
So that particular things is not covered in this courses, but
Okay.
let's say if you get any kind of let's say if any one of you get stuck any point of time for connecting with any kind of things or integrated with any other like cloud platform and so on, will also be supported, but that is basically have not covered in the courses, because that particular things is specifically for different people. Like some people will use source lab, some people will use AWS, uh,
Yeah.
Google cloud platform, and Azure. So all those things, covering all those things will take a lot of time in terms of courses, and also it will not be helpful for each and every individual to learn AWS, GCP, and so on.
Okay, so support is there if we have this kind of uh, in,
It should be.
I
It
mean
should be.
we
It
have
should be
to
supported.
implement in our fine, fine. Thank you.
It should be.
Yeah, just have a couple of
Means,
questions. Like one is related like we have like even Cypress with JavaScript also. But one
right.
thing, what according to you, whatever you have given now, so in the Selenium architecture, generally it converts using server, Selenium server standalone, converts that Java code to WebDriver W3C protocols, and the W3 protocols directly interact using the WebDriver. It will interact with the normal browser. So since that part of lengthy conversation, it's not it here Cypress or even Playwright directly interact with the browser commands since it is a
Right,
native language. So the
right,
performance wise, Playwright and Cypress are better than the Selenium. And one more thing is
correct.
like since like we'll have like switching to different windows and all that. So will that also be supported in Playwright and on that? And will
Yes,
regarding
yes.
any window automations, generally we'll use external like Seculi or Auto IT, where we have to write again using Java code. So will this also support Windows automation here?
Playwright is basically for web automation, buddy. So Playwright will
No, no, my
mostly support. I
yeah,
understand
I
your question.
understand.
For
Yeah.
for Windows and all, you will basically have to use the third party again. Not like Playwright will not be supporting 100% in that case.
So third party
But
in the
if you're
sense
talking
like
about, let's say, so let's say if you're talking about any upload and download, let's say for upload you have to use like Auto IT or Robot. You can directly use over here. We have that. I'll show you that as well in the Playwright course. So that particular things, like let's say if you are trying to use some kind of file that you have to upload from your system, that it can be taken care in terms of Playwright itself.
not only uploading of the file, something like I have to exit the window or something, I have to close the window, something the pop-ups comes. So in that kind, like since because JavaScript we cannot write using JavaScript, right? The Windows and all that. So can we like even you say third-party tool in the sense, which can and which language does it support again? That using Java we can write, right?
See,
Network
using
Java something.
using using JavaScript also we can write it out. For supporting, like basically JavaScript is used for UI itself, like developing of the UI, and most of the things it can interact with the Windows. So as per your question, if you're talking about closing the windows, closing the pop-ups, and so on, will be supported by the JavaScript itself.
Okay. And is this Playwright? Do we have also paid version, or it's complete? We only there is some
It's
only
completely
open
open
source.
source. It's completely open source.
And okay, so what is the difference between a Cypress and Playwright? Like, what is extra features does Playwright have than the Cypress? Even still,
Right.
Cypress also supporting JavaScript.
The main difference is Cypress supports only JavaScript, whereas Playwright supports most of the other language.
So the rest will remain same, nothing more else, right? Regarding the
Rest will
feature wise,
rest
in
rest
this and in
everything
terms of
will
JavaScript, in
almost
terms of JavaScript, I mean,
right, right, will remain same.
so performance wise, like which is better, either Cypress or Playwright?
Performance wise, it depends on how you the architecture of your framework is. But as we are using JavaScript in both, like let's say Cypress and Playwright, and both will directly interact with the web application. So like both of the script, Playwright and Cypress, will have a similar performance because you're using similar technology, and it also interact with in a similar way as it interacts with the Playwright and Cypress.
Praveen,
Okay.
here you mean to say like a playwright, it is asynchronous actually, so it performance wise is also very fast in playwright only, na?
Right. So
But here
Playwright is not.
there is no waiting condition.
So Playwright is not asynchronous. JavaScript is
Yes,
asynchronous
yes,
language,
JavaScript. Yes,
not
yes,
Playwright.
exactly. Sorry for yeah.
Right, right. And when it comes to supporting waiting concept, it is again the tools that you're using. So Playwright has given some kind of tools. So it will wait for, let's say if your element is not visible, it will wait for some of the times, some of the seconds, and then it will perform the
Yeah, got
things.
it.
Performance
Actually,
wise, performance wise,
yeah,
performance-wise, Playwright is much better because it is radically, as one of our friends had, like one of your colleague had said, it is radically interacting with the web application. There are no middleware like we have standalone server in terms of Selenium, which is like called as driver. So we do not have any like middleware here. It will like your code will directly interact with the web application, so it will be much faster. I see like few of the person have not shared your WhatsApp number and the name. It will be really better if you can share, so that like we'll be able to share you some of the documents, contents, and so on, so that you can
Praveen, I
refer
have.
it out later. Yes.
So, do we have the database testing with Playwright?
No, we do not have database testing with Playwright.
So, like anything mock server?
You can mock as I was talking about API testing, so all those things will be mocked over there. But in
For
terms of
example,
database,
yeah. For example, in the
uh,
prod environment, we don't have access to the prod environment. For example, if the environment is on site in America, we don't have access. For that reason, we need to manipulate some of the things. We don't have control on the APIs for our end-to-end
right,
testing. Can we do that
right,
Playwright?
right. Yes, manipulation of the API will be done. You can also you can manipulate your request, you can manipulate your response, and so on. Let me show you. I think most of the questions were similar sort of things. Let me show you one of a automation that I've already developed, so that you'll understand what I'm talking here. Let me share my this one of a demo that I've created for you people. Are you able to see my screen, which is like Visual Code's VS Code,
Yes.
right? So this is one of a test that
Praveen,
I have developed.
can we do hello?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Praveen.
Yes,
Can we
yes.
cover web automation as well as mobile testing?
See, the complete mobile testing will not be done by Playwright. Only the native, as I said like earlier, it will support emulation, but not 100%. The browser part, it will automatically be done. When I say like browser, let's say if you are using Android or iOS, and whatever the browser that you have that it supports, it will automatically take care of whatever you are writing the test automation for UI. Whereas in terms of see, if you're talking about the complete support of how APM is supporting for the mobile application, in that way it will not be able to support right now. There are limited kind of support that we have in terms of mobile automation for
Do
using
we
Playwright
have same code base like for web and mobile if we are trying to execute? So, or do
in
we?
the same browser. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let me try to share you one of this particular test case. So this says that API for security testing. So I'll just talk about what the case here is. The case here is like I have one of a application where it is trying to I have logged in using my particular ID. As you can see like this particular things in one of a website, one of a e-commerce website. I've just logged in with that, and I'm trying to access some other's account, some other user account. Okay, so this is one of a security testing that we have to do a lot of time. And this for this particular things, it is not always possible that you will have a separate log like credential to test each and every scenario of the API testing, because the similar credential might be used by the developer and some other tester, so they can create any sort of things, they can place any sort of orders. So what I'm trying to do here is I am basically trying to logged in, I have placed an order, and I'm trying to access some other users order details, like what they have ordered and so on. So if I just try to put this out, so one of a person have asked like the API mocking and all. So similar kind of things I'm doing here, because I do not have any other user where I can use their particular user ID or some kind of login credentials. I'm trying to access some other user ID here, and I'm just trying to mock it out. That means I'm trying to check whether it is throwing me the 403 or not. That means you are not authorized to view some other's order. Let's say how it works. I'll basically show you through the UI part. Like when I select UI part,
Sir, I've got one question. Hello?
yes, yes.
Just wanted to know, I mean, during our session, will we have a website where we can do some practice, like
Yes,
a login page or some drop down, some select, some add and delete operations?
yes.
Okay,
We'll have
okay, thank you.
all those things as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, my system has gone very slow today, so just bear with me for a couple of more minutes.
So Praveen, like what is the duration daily basis? Like 1 hour?
Right, it will be 1 hour.
Okay.
So will it be at the same time or earlier?
Regarding the timing, like this, you can connect with the person who you are in contact with, either Kumar or the Isha training people. They'll let you know regarding this.
Praveen sir,
Okay.
is this a heavy tool? Like, do we need a high functioning system for this one?
No, it's a very lightweight tool,
Okay,
very
okay.
lightweight. Okay, so I was talking about talking regarding the UI tool earlier. So you can see, like, whenever you try to run any kind of test case, you can open that in the UI as well. So it has given a Playwright tool where you can check like what the automation test case, how many test cases that you have automated. And let's say I'm trying to run this particular things, like which is like API security, and I have just mocked it, the API. I've just run it from here. It will start running in couple of seconds. You can see it has also given the actions that it is trying to perform, what happened before and what happened after. So each and every step you should be able to see through this particular UI that Playwright has given, whereas Selenium it does not have. So see what happened here. So I'm just trying to log in this particular UI. What happened before? There was nothing. What happened after? It launched the URL. What happened before? You know, I'm just trying to fill out the username here. What happened before? Nothing. After, you can see it has filled the UI. And in the same way, it has clicked on like UI, it has clicked on this particular things, it has waited for some kind of things in the page. Clicked on orders, like basically it has performed all the routing part, mocking of the API, and if you see, like it has given like you are not authorized to view this order. So what did I do here in terms of automation? If you see here, I was just trying to route it out this particular API and throw whatever are intended test cases. So all these, like mocking kind of things, I've just mocked here the response part. You can also mock your request part. I've just mocked your request part, sorry. You can also mock your response part. So everything will be taken care in terms of Playwright that you can see, and this is the UI part of the Playwright, where you can run, you can validate all the steps. You can see, like I did not even write like take this screenshot and so on at any line of the code. You can see it out here, but it has taken all the like on each and every step. It has taken on automatically the screenshot, and it should have also generated a video that we are left with just 5 minutes. I might not be able to show you, but it should have generated somewhere the videos part over here that you can see, all these steps that it has gone through. So this is what the
Praveen,
benefit of using.
Praveen, be care. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Are you going to cover any small
yes.
projects out of in this course this thing, at least like POs
Right. As I
sort of
said,
wherein which we'll be covering. Yeah.
right. As I said, I'll be covering all the framework part. So we'll definitely use one of our project for this
And
to automate
having
complete
said
end
that,
to end.
okay, having said that, as a part of the project, are you going to cover CI/CD implementations and Jenkins part?
I think I've covered that.
Well,
I think I've covered that in course content. So all those things will be covered as well.
and are you extending to that like Dockers and Kubernetes by any chance? I mean, just shall we have it for at the end of the project and at the end of the course, at least a day wherein
Um,
which we'll be discussing about all this high level concept at least for half an hour so that we can just streamline our thought process and put it in our resume. That could really
right.
help.
So
That covers
one
real time implementation. Yeah. Yeah. Please
right.
go ahead.
One thing I'll say, like this course is designed for both freshers and the person who is already working in terms of either manual testing, automation testing, or any other tool. So one thing I'll suggest, see, not everyone will use Docker, not everyone will use Source Lab and other things, right? As I've given answer for the other person, if you stuck anywhere, we can support you to figure it out how to do that. But if everyone is interested in that, I can take one more extra class for Docker as well.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. That could help us. Yeah. Thanks.
Any other question? We are just left with 2 minutes. So if you have any kind of questions, and if anyone have not shared this WhatsApp number and name, you can still share. We'll try to share all the content, course content, and some of the important documents.
I have a question.
When you are going to
Yes.
start the new batch?
Sorry, I have the question.
Um,
You are about to tell about the career opportunities, right?
oh, right. Yes. So see, regarding this Playwright, right? Two things that I have to cover here. One is like after the completion of the course, you will be in a position to apply for any job instantly if you do, provided you do a practice as well. It is not something that you just listen the class and you will be master in that. No, for that you have to practice, and I guarantee you that after the completion of course, you will, if not master, then you will at least become an intermediate level where you can even show like 2 years of experience that you have already worked on. First things. Second is regarding the career. In 2025 and at the end of like 2024 and first quarter of 2025, Playwright will be really, really, hot in the market. Most of the organization now I see like 60% of the organization are asking for Playwright. If you have seen like job opportunity and all. So in 2025 and 2026, I believe 70 to 80% of the organization will start using Playwright, given the feature that they have. But I am not like saying the Selenium will wipe out from the market. Selenium is evergreen and it will be still in the market. Playwright, because of the feature, most of the organization is moving to this, and it has also advantage. So in terms of career opportunity, moving towards Playwright is really a great things that you people can choose of, and you can also start, because in 2025 and in currently also I see like a lot of job market that they are acquiring for Playwright using JavaScript and TypeScript, and in 2025 definitely there will be uh, at least 70 out of 100 jobs will ask for Playwright tools experience and all. So that's the thing. I've regarding the agenda, I've covered like introduction of Playwright. I've given the unique feature of the Playwright.
Amugire?
I could not give you the installation part because of the timing, like uh, lack of time. Um, but I've just shown you, given you a demo on like how do we mock and all. It was again not in the detail, but just wanted to show you how it works in general. Given the
So
career
I've got
opportunity, how it works, what will be the benefit of Playwright? and so on. So yes, I'll again take couple of questions for couple of minutes, couple of next minutes, and then
Yes,
we'll close it off.
yes.
Yes.
So just wanted to know if tomorrow also you will give another session or we have to enroll if ever we are interested in Playwright so that we can start following the course. And what
I
about the
think
time? Is it going to be the same time or just before? Because I'm currently enrolled in another course at Isha Training itself, and I see that the time clashes. So I just wanted to ensure that I can follow both of them.
right. So for this particular things, I think the Isha training people will be a better person to answer
Mm-hmm.
um, regarding your question. So I think you can connect with them. Um, that will be better. To check with them
Okay, so you
regarding
we are
regarding
not
the
sure
time
that
and the classes.
tomorrow. Yeah, no.
Okay. Uh,
Are we going to have a session tomorrow, or it's only for today?
I am really not sure regarding that. So that is why I'm asking you to check with them so that they'll be
Okay,
able to
okay,
clarify.
okay.
this is a
Thank you.
daily class, right? Not the weekend.
So this will be a daily class from Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Saurav, your question was what is timing for this course? So if you're asking about the duration, it is 5 to 6 weeks. If you're asking about the timing, you can again please reach out to Isha training people. And
And one more
what?
question, like we have a UI testing also, no, in Playwright, both API and UI testing.
Yeah, yes. UI is major part.
And is the this is the only one tool that's enough for doing both API and UI testing?
So,
In terms of
We don't
basic
require
API testing,
any other knowledge, right?
so are you
you do
going to
not
cover
you do
this
not
too?
require basic.
You are
Sorry.
going to
So
cover you.
basic part of
you
the right basic part of the API will be covered here. Basic when I say like basic part, basic used to be in the API is like get, post, put, and delete part, right? So all those things will be covered here. In terms of if you're talking about going for OAuth authorization and so on, this particular course will not cover. But if you people require those kind of things, like we'll check it out. How do we do that in this particular
Actually,
courses or
I require
in
API
enroll?
testing. That's why I enrolled for this Playwright tool. We
Okay,
actually use in our project, but I'm new to the testing. That's why I wanted to enroll for Playwright with API testing. It will
okay?
be
understood,
better
So,
if you cover
understood.
all the API testing.
so I've got one question also regarding this topic. So you will be covering both UI and API for the Playwright in this course, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
If no other question, then we can drop it off. Is there any question? Still,
One
anyone
quick
have
question.
any
No,
doubt?
sir.
So
Thank
this
you.
course, like starting from tomorrow, or like how it is, when it's actually starting, this batch?
Ahmad, again, I'll request you to please reach out to Isha Training for this particular question. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay.
I think
Sure.
that particular, like those person will be, probably give you the better answer for this.
All right. All right. Got it.
Okay. No worries. Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for joining today's demo session. It was like really interacting, uh, enthusiastic as well, because you people were asking a lot of questions and so on. It was really nice to talk to you, meet you people, and we'll see you people in the courses. Thank you,
Yes,
everyone.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sure.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.